We're back at another one. We got our boy Josh in studio.
What up, what up?
He is head instructor at 10th Planet Gulf Shores.
10th Planet Gulf Shores, formerly Kazushi Club Gulf Shores, Wheels Karate and Jiu-Jitsu. We're re-affiliating when I get my black belt.
Okay.
So when Sean moved to Atlanta, opened up 10th Planet Atlanta, we had to nix the affiliation because Eddie changed the rules. You have to be a homegrown 10th Planet black belt.
Okay.
So as soon as I get my black belt, we'll re-affiliate.
Okay, cool.
Still part of 10th Planet though, still all that fun stuff. I just can't put the name on the building. Yeah, we're still part of the team though.
I was wondering what the karate or the wheels thing was because I see that on everybody's rash guards or they have shirts and stuff. We just went to Remedy Sunday and Derek was there.
Yeah,
and he had one of the wheels thing and I was like, I meant to ask him how that is. Is half the studio karate or is it time frames
Yeah, no, it's half and half. So we used to be. Did you ever come to the gym when it was in Foley when we were in the CrossFit building with Andrew and them? Did you ever come? So we moved. I think it was 2018, summer of 2018. We moved down to Gulf Shores and we merged programs with Wheels Karate because we known Chris Wheels a long time. Chris Wheels, as you guys don't know, is the head instructor and owner of Wheels Karate and Jiu-Jitsu Kazushi Club Gulf Shores. Dude's a fucking OG. He's been doing bare knuckle karate for 30 years ish. Yeah, dude. He's kickboxed, he's boxed, and dude's a savage. And plus he's a really good guy. And so we merged programs with him and that's the building we're in, and he's helped me boost my my jiu-jitsu program as well, and I've helped him with the after school kids. So definitely learned a lot about because I've always been good at jiu-jitsu and been a good competitor, but I was, he's taught me a lot about maybe not being so much of a dick and kind of being a bit nicer, turning the switch on and off between, hey, let's get this dude, and hey, calm down, So Chris Wills he's the homie. He's the, love that dude to death.
Dude, y'all definitely have a room full of killers, bro.
We do. We do.
A lot of boys,
murderers,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Bro. Some gnarly shit.
Cam, Derek, and dude, I am terrible with names, so I forget the other two.
So we have a couple that are homegrown. There are guys that don't really. I have a bunch of guys that are hobbyists that you won't really see a whole lot unless you come in and train because they don't compete a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But they come in every night and they'll bump with Cam, Derek, Pat, those guys. They'll give them all a run for their money, right? So I got guys Tom Eberly, who will actually be competing this weekend.
Is that the guy? Remember we were reffing, and you were coaching him, but I was reffing, and you were coaching at the end of the match. I was like, dude, he's a killer because everything you said, he literally did at the time you said it. He was such a good listener. I want to say his name was Tom, dude.
Older guy, dark skin, black hair.
Not dark skin.
He doesn't look older, but he's probably 35. He's super...
Yeah.
He's in super good shape, looks young.
Yeah.
That might have been him. Yeah. They all tend to listen pretty well.
I think at the time he was a blue belt.
He got his blue belt. I think he got it at the end of 2019 was when he got his blue. But yeah, it might have been him. It might have been him.
Because this was in Milton. I want to say. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember.
It was probably Tom. It was might be Tom. It wasn't Jordan, was it?
No, not Jordan. I know Jordan.
Yeah.
Because they look young.
Yeah, Jordan looks, yeah.
Didn't him and his girl just have a baby?
Yeah, they just had a little Everly. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Babies.
They look like two influencers.
Oh, those two?
Yeah, just visually, they look like some TikTok kids. They look good? Yeah,
Peyton
they're pretty kids.
Peyton does. Jordan looks like if Justin Bieber had scoliosis. But he is good at jiu-jitsu, so I'll give him that. And plus, he's a good kid. There's nobody, trust me, every time that kid does anything, even semi, annoying, I always give him shit. But he, he's a good,
love, dude.
Yeah, he's good.
It's tough love,
and not only that, but, I've talked shit to the kid for, years now, and he still hasn't gone off. He's still around. Figure
if he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of him at this point. I figure I'm kind of stuck with him.
You're definitely in the business of teaching tough skin, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I try to, man.
There needs to be more of that in the world. There's too many.
Gotta be. I feel to be in that.
Too many marshmallows out there,
Well, here's the thing about and I always kind of drive this home when you talk about because the guys that are hobbyists in the gym, I'm still gonna teach them the same jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna hold them as accountable. If homeboy over here who has a wife and kids at home or whatever, and he taps to something, that's like, oh, that hurts, and he taps. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. Like, that wasn't real breaking pressure, but I see what's going on there. Yeah. But if one of the competitors, like if Cameron, Dylan Chastain, Derek Bryant, Pat, Omar, if one of those guys taps, I'm like, hey, man, that shit wasn't there, right? Yeah. I'm not going to be a dick about it, but I'm going to beat their ear a little bit, you know what I mean? Because there's different goals. You can't, everybody still has to be held accountable, but I'm not going to be as harsh with this person as that person. Yeah. But that being said, even the hobbyists tend to be just as good because of proximity, you know what I mean? So who are you training with every day? Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of like the same thing with me. I never really wanted to be like super high level competitor, or like I don't have any aspirations to be world champion. Chase and Sean did, and I was training twice a day every day because I wanted to open up my own school someday and make a living off jiu-jitsu. Yeah. That was really the only reason I ever got into like training full time. Was like I was in college, I was at UAB. I got my bachelor's in phys ed and an associate's in anatomical sciences, and I was like, all right, well, here's another 8 years, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm gonna what? And I was already miserable. Like, I was working at a detailing place, and I was like, I hate my job, I hate school, I'm not doing anything that I like. Yeah. So then I met Sean, like during my college stay, and
And you didn't do any martial arts before this?
I did, just poorly. So like, I my first dabble into martial arts, I was 13. Yeah, like 12, 13. My buddy Shai Dismukes, we went to high school together. Okay. He did MMA and stuff, and his dad actually fought pro like way back in the day when it was still illegal in a bunch of states. Dave Dismukes. Respect. Yeah, I think he actually, one of his fights eventually is on record because that they legalized in Alabama right before it. But I think he used to fight in like hook and shoot or whatever, and so he like trained under Eric Paulson, like dabbled here and there with other places. That was like a Japanese jiu-jitsu black belt. Trained with them, and they weren't like very good on the grand scheme of things, but they were good enough to get me interested. You know, so like eventually, that place closed down. I went to college, and I met Sean. Clicked with him, and it got to the point where I met Sean.
You met Sean at school?
No, I met Sean down here, so I kind of told it out of order, so it's a little weird.
No, you're good.
But so like my grandparents had a condo down Fort Morgan in Gulf Shores, and they would always like, hey, you want to come down to the beach with us? I'm like, nah, man, I don't fucking care about the beach.
We're at different speeds.
Dude, like I just got done work, and I want to sit on my ass and like drink and not do shit for like a few days. But my grandfather knew I liked MMA and stuff, and he goes, dude, you need to come down here. Maybe there's like an MMA place that down here that you can check out. And I was like, oh, well, he's right about that. And then I looked up online. Turns out there's a 10th Planet Gulf Shores, and of course I knew about 10th Planet.
Yeah,
like, everybody knew about 10th Planet. Like I watched all Eddie Bravo's videos and shit. Like bought his books and whatever. So I came down and checked it out, and ran into Sean. Sean was a blue belt at the time. Oh wow! And just clicked, dude. Just the kind of guy I wanted to be around, and came back, and it got to the point where I had such a good time, and Sean welcomed me so well that I ended up coming down like every few weeks, usually like once every month or two. Yeah. I'll just come down and just train and hang out on the beach and shit.
And you'd be able to hang out for how long?
Usually the whole weekend. I'd come down for like a weekend. Every now and then I'd like get up early, leave Monday, but I just come down and train with him and Chase and Tori and all the other guys.
At that same time, didn't Red train with all them?
Yeah, he did. He was a white belt when I first met him. He actually got his blue belt the day Sean got his purple. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because Tony was telling me, because I guess when Tony started, Tony was training under Red because the gym they were set up at, that's just how it was. Like, and Red has like a very extensive knowledge of jiu-jitsu, and like Tony got his blue, and then like Red moved on, or like wasn't coming or something. I can't remember exactly what happened there, but that's when like Tony started teaching. But I had like, until he told me that, I had no idea that Red came from 10th Planet.
He did originally. Yeah, he got his blue belt the same day Sean got his purple, and that was at the first Eddie seminar that Eddie ever did in Gulf Shores. So then,
what year was that?
That was hell, dude. I think it was
that year was
2013. Sure. Pretty sure it's 2012 or 2013.
Damn, dude, that's so.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like that long ago, dude.
Yeah,
like,
really
I actually
doesn't.
have a picture. I was digging through my old photos the other day, and it's of me sitting next to Eddie and Sean, and Sean's holding up his purple, and I'm throwing up the 10, and Eddie's like hanging out with us and shit.
And you were still white at that time?
I was still white belt, yeah.
Okay.
I had a couple like years of experience in grappling and shit, but none of it was high level training and none of it was consistent. You know what I mean? So like I just pretty much,
for sure,
when I was in Birmingham, if I got a weekend off, like, oh, I don't have to work tomorrow, I guess I'll go train at Spartans today and get beat up by those. Like, it was just like more of a novelty thing to train back then, just because I loved it so much, but I didn't really have the ability to pursue it.
Yeah.
But like eventually I moved, when I kind of got burnt out in college, I did get my bachelor's and an additional associates, and I was like, screw this, man, I'm doing jiu-jitsu. So I moved down here to apprentice under Sean, and whenever he said I was ready, I was going to go back home and open up my own gym, get an income that way, and go back to night classes. Eventually it just became all about jiu-jitsu, but I never wanted to be like super good competitor or anything. I just wanted to make money off jiu-jitsu by running a school and getting to train every day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing is, I trained with Chase and Sean, and those dudes want to be world champions. When you train with guys who want to be world champions every day, that talent, that, you know, all the things that they're doing, you do everything they're doing, it rubs off.
Yeah.
You know what's so weird about, because like I kind of think of you guys as like a little trio as far as like the hierarchy of you three.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Sean looks so unassuming. Chase for sure looks like anybody could beat Chase up.
Dude,
just
Chase,
visually, you're like, what would he do to me? But
you know what's hilarious is, like, of all the people in jiu-jitsu I've met, there's a bunch of people that probably don't like me or Sean.
Yeah.
Sean's somewhat abrasive. I'm pretty abrasive.
Yeah.
You know, given the setting. Chase is like literally the nicest guy ever.
Yeah. He looks exactly how he is.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But of the three, you look the most like, I'll kill you.
I probably am.
Dude, not gonna lie, you turned the corner a second ago. I said, who the fuck is that guy? Like, seriously, he scared the shit out of me.
I probably am, but the truth is that those two dudes beat me up. So, like, yeah, for sure. Like,
we were outside standing waiting for you. Well, we were like saying bye to the previous guest, and it was like nice out, so we were just hanging out. And I was like, the dude that's about to show up, he could kill us all if he wanted to. Like, we might stand like 30 seconds, and I'm telling, like, Paige, go, run, get help. But we're not going to survive. You're just going to take the cat and be gone.
He's telling me, he's like, this is going to be the toughest guy we've had on so far.
Yeah, and I was like,
why are you doing like, what do you do? What are you trying to do right now, dude?
Yeah, like, of all the killers that have been in this room, probably none. You're the first.
Hey,
I mean,
you guys need to drag Chase and Sean in here next time they're in town.
Yeah, for real. That'd be sick, dude.
But yeah,
so they're not so they don't train around here anymore?
They're in Atlanta, right?
They're in Atlanta, yeah.
Gotcha.
Sean got an offer to move and open up 10th Planet Atlanta. We knew the guys at Striker Fight Center through Kakudo Challenge, which is pretty much where Chase and I made our come up as younger guys and, you know, lower ranks. So we came up through Kakudo Challenge.
Byron's actual...
Yeah, that was Byron's thing. That's Byron, actually, if I'm correct, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he sold the mats for Kakudo to Trey for Southeastern Sub Classic. That's why if you guys go to the Southeastern Sub Classic this weekend, I know he did last time, might not have it this time, but on the little cage panels, or not the cage panels, but the little fencing panels that he puts along the ring or whatever, it says Kakudo on the side of it. So yeah, that was Byron the Vorn's original love child.
I remember that.
Yeah. And that was, to this day, those were my favorite tournaments.
But they don't throw him anymore?
Nah.
I haven't seen him in a while. I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if he like had a new one.
I remember they stopped throwing tournaments for a while, and they kind of got into like this Kakudo media thing where they just used Kakudo as the media brand to go around and stream a bunch of other stuff. They streamed like the first few of Trey's tournaments. I remember like the UWF one. And they streamed Battle Mountain a couple times. But who knows, man? I mean, you know Trey, so I'm sure he has probably told you, dude, running, and you've worked there as well. I mean, we both reffed there. Running a tournament is a pain in the ass, dude. And oftentimes it's kind of thankless, you know what I mean?
For sure, dude.
Like, there's a lot that goes on, I feel like, in something like that. A lot of people don't understand. You know, don't think about unless you're actually in that field, you know, of some sort. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, if you're there setting up, and then you're there breaking down, you'll see how many people really thank him or thank the people that are there doing the thing. Because, like, I remember we had to set up for a Southeastern
one of the super fight shows,
but it was one of the combat jiu-jitsu. So we had to take an MMA cage out of his backyard. He has like a semi-truck trailer that has no wheels. It's just sitting on the ground.
Oh, dude, fuck that. He should have just held it in his backyard.
Oh, dude, I know, dude. But we had to load it up. So I was there to load it up and then unloaded it at the Crestview Community Center. Mm-hmm. Built it, then broke it down after the event. So it's like those types of things people don't see. And like I got to hang out with Sammy, and he told me about his fighting days. Like I guess he fought on Tough, but it was like never aired or something.
So they like tried out for Tough and they got in. It was the season, because I talked to Joe Elmore about this actually at the last SEC event. Joe Elmore was telling me, because him and Sammy were there, and Sammy made it. It was the season of GSP and Koscheck, I think. But they cut the heavyweight weight class, so they cut Sammy's weight class. What? And then I don't remember the rest. I think Joe got injured or something like that. I think they got Jonathan Brookins or one of those guys to take his place instead. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
damn, that's fucked, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. Imagine where Sammy would be if he actually got on the show, though.
I know. Dude, he's got such a personality.
I know, he would have been like one of the fan favorites right off the rip, for sure.
He would have been the dude saying, "Let me bang, bro. Yeah. Let me bang."
Is this a coach or somebody? Who is this guy?
Sammy,
yeah. Who's this?
He's not a coach. I don't know that he coaches anything.
Local promoter, local martial artist. He's fought. Sammy's done a little bit.
He's like an entrepreneur. Now he owns a crane company, I think.
I don't know about it. I think he does something. I know he does some sort of like construction or like.
I mean, he's a really good guy. He started up with Trey.
Nice guy. Cool. He's done jujitsu, pancrase, MMA. Yeah, so. He's in the biz.
All over the place.
Definitely somebody you don't want to like mess with in the streets.
I mean, you look at him, and the way you guys described me is probably how I would describe Sammy.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So don't fuck with that guy for sure.
Yeah, you're like, hey, let me buy that guy a drink. Yeah. We're good.
No, we're good. No, I don't know who you are. I just wanted to buy you a drink.
I typically just do that anyway.
Yeah.
There's too many people. The days of like picking fights with people are definitely gone, dude. Because everybody like. You see somebody with cauliflower ear and you're like, oh yeah, probably shouldn't fight that guy. But what about like the grandpa or whatever that's just like out, or the dad that's just out wearing khakis and a button up eating dinner with his kids that probably could kill you with a pencil because he worked for Blackwater or some shit.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no facial cue. Yeah. There's no scar, cauliflower ear, like American Fighter t-shirt.
Yeah.
There's just, this dude used to kill people and you have no idea. You know what I mean? So like,
oh yeah, those days are over for sure.
And thing is, like, if you hang out in martial arts long enough, you get to meet those people too, and it's super weird. You know.
I definitely have met some pretty loopy guys. We had the first gym I ever started at was ASR. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
Was it Alex Silva who was?
Yeah. I started there. We had this kid that came in that claimed he was a purple belt. At the time, I was just a white belt. I can't remember his damn name for anything, but...
Is he still around?
He fought on Island Fights 60-something, or maybe 50, but he fought and got knocked out in like 10 seconds, but he came at it like this. He was like this.
Oh, he gave like the Irish...
Yeah, he was like walking up like...
Like the Lucky Charm stunt double. Like,
almost like when you see people slap boxing in high school, they're like... He would do that, but...
Oh, so he basically tried to throw a
He fought Joe Fernando. Big, The Rock-looking dude from Remedy.
Yeah, I know Joe.
Pretty Joe Fernando. Dude! That's a nickname right there.
Pretty Joe Fernando.
Yeah. Unless I'm mispronouncing your last name, my guy. I skated with him when we were young.
I call him Joe Ferrigno.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one comes off. I don't know. That's crazy.
But he knocked him out. Like, he knocked him clean out.
Old purple belt kid got knocked out?
Yep. But when we rolled, like, I was, like, mopping him up, and I was a white belt. I shouldn't have even been in the ballpark of being able to do anything offensive to him if he was a purple belt. And, I mean...
Where did this kid come from? He just, like, walked out. He
literally just... Came in the gym one day and he's like, yo, this is my name, that I'm a purple belt. But he would be talking about crazy stuff like, dude, did you know cats could walk on ceilings? And we're like, what the fuck is this dude?
See, that's like...
you had crackhead come up in there.
Well, dude, everybody's had a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, I mean, he was loopy.
Is that something that happens a lot? Like, you have people come into gyms that are like, oh, I've been doing this for 8 years or whatever, and then get them on the mat, and it's like...
So let me
how
tell
many
you.
like fake belts there are out there?
Oh,
Yeah.
That
dude.
just claim something.
Yeah.
And some of them are well known too, and people don't know that they're fake or bought their black belt or whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, there's entire like pay schemes of like famous black belts that are world champions that'll come to your gym, do a seminar, and sell you a promotion. That's like real shit. So, I mean, if you got promoted, like say if you bought your black belt, and if someone gave you a black belt, I would argue that you're not a fake black belt. You just suck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess I don't know, but. Dude, if you're in martial arts, bro, you'll meet a bunch of crazy people. Either they're crazy or they have huge egos.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It seems to me that, like, if you have a huge ego, there's, like, two main businesses you can get into. It's either open a church or open a martial arts academy.
Or motivational speaking.
Yeah, there's that, too.
Because you just soak up, you're saying shit and you're smelling your own farts at the same time, and you're like,
Pretty much.
oh, dude, I'm the shit.
I am it.
I just said something so good.
And then you've got
cats
50
walk on
people
ceilings.
listening to you, and you're like, oh, I'm definitely it.
Yeah.
If you got that many people.
And then occasionally you have, like, the weirdos that come in the gym and, like, want to spar everybody right off the rip. That happens every now and then, too.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, Jesus. Like, it's crazy, dude. But yeah, like
I haven't spent enough time in the, like, you know, I've rolled with him a couple times and stuff, but that's like not, you know, that's not my thing, I guess. But I didn't know it was that, because we have people come into the kitchen that are like, oh yeah, I've had 15 years experience working under this guy, and then you see him julienne an onion, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like shit like that, you know,
dude,
like
it's real.
It makes you wonder, because I seriously wonder this sometimes. The legitimacy of like celebrity jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, we talked
like
about this.
Ashton Kutcher has a brown belt, but is that real? I hear he's legit. I hear that, but
Well, here's the thing: is like I think also people need to think about, like, by saying legit, what are we saying? Are we saying that he beat up some really like famous jiu-jitsu practitioners? Are we saying that he would be competitive if he went out to, like, you know, like a high level competition?
Yeah.
Or are we just saying that he has a brown belt? You know
this,
what I mean?
from what I hear, and this is why I consider it legit, is that he trains and takes it serious. I don't know that he's ever competed, because I think we would have heard that. But he loves the sport for what it is, and like he's putting in his time, and he's.
I think there was actually a video of him rolling with Craig Jones a while back, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Wasn't there a video of him
that.
rolling Craig? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was. Jamie, look that up.
Yeah, we're trying
Where
to
you
get
at,
Jamie.
Yeah, like, so that, like, the vibe I get from that is like, okay, he's good. I've also heard of like a couple other people that have trained with like Hegan is one, you know, like Charlie Hunnam or whatever.
Yeah.
From Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if he's gotten from last I checked, he was a white belt, but he trains too.
I think he got his blue belt actually.
Good for him.
Him, Demi Lovato, and like
I saw
Jonah Hill. I think he has his blue belt now.
Good. Dude, what about R.I.P. my boy Paul Walker? He was a black. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
He was promoted, you know, posthumously, but he got his black belt from Frangina Miller, and he was legit. Like, he trained with like Frangina and Jeff Glover and Bill Cooper and all those guys. So for sure, that dude was legit.
Found it.
You know what I mean?
Found the Craig Jones video. They did roll.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't remember how
wonder
it
if
went.
I can.
I mean, I'm sure if it's even
You
competitive,
can, you
Craig's
should,
probably going easy on him because Craig's a nice guy. But
Yeah.
I mean, as long as
Also,
you're
Craig's
training,
down for a good laugh. Like he's not trying to.
he's probably like one of the funniest people in jiu-jitsu right now, in all
Yeah.
honesty, like for sure.
Dude, I love that he. Damn, what is her fucking name? Gabby.
Oh God.
That he's gonna fight Gabby, but right before that he was gonna fight Ty, and he's like, I'm gonna knock out the kid first, and then fight the girl. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, because Ty's what, 18 now?
18, 19.
Yeah, so it's like he legitimately was just a child, like
4 days ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna fight this girl that's twice his weight, maybe a little more.
She's not quite twice. She's like in the 230s, I think.
Okay.
Are you
For
talking
some
about
reason
the
she-
really tall,
Yeah, I showed
like
you.
6 foot?
She looks like
girl or
she looks
whatever?
like the chicks off Futurama, the Death by Snoo Snooch,
Oh,
the Amazon
yeah.
women. That's
Yeah.
what she looks like,
She looks like the Great Khali, but as a girl
bro.
too. You know.
I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie to
mean-
you. I'm kind of, and don't get me wrong, I like Gabby Garcia.
But is it gonna be pushed back? Because isn't he had COVID? Oh, because of
Yeah,
his
the
abs.
swell.
Never mind, it went away.
He's,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right,
he's
that's right.
okay now. I don't know Craig that well, but yeah, dude, I'm excited to see her actually get challenged. I mean, she's still. Here's the thing: is a lot of people are like, "Oh, she's way bigger." I'm like, she's not actually that much bigger. If you see them both in person, like she's bigger, but Craig walks around like 200, 205.
Also, for the promotional stuff, he was slouching.
Well, he was doing.
He was
that as
in
a gag.
skimpy clothes, so he would
doing
look
that as a
small.
real
gag.
small.
He did that as a
Yeah.
gag for sure.
Yeah.
But like,
Did you watch the press conference?
yeah, I did.
Yeah,
It was
that's
hilarious.
funny.
He had the little 40 of Miller High Life. Open it.
He goes, "Can you
Shit.
open this?" Yeah. That shit
Like
was
someone
hilarious.
finally opened the beer for Craig. Yeah, no thanks to Gabby. But yeah, like he that's the things people. Oh, well, I wonder if the strength's gonna come into play. I'm like, dude, for sure, Craig Jones is stronger than Gabby Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Because 205, she might be like 230 something or whatever, but his muscles are way more dense than hers.
Yeah.
And she actually just lost. Who was it? Manuel Hibamar's girlfriend.
Yeah, I can't keep up with Brazilian.
Natalie DeJesus.
Yeah,
I think is her name.
DeJesus, yeah.
I think that's. I apologize for butchering it, but she beat her. Went, bro. Y'all think that she's about to do Craig? My
Yeah.
boy CJ about to. He's about.
That's
to
the second time
mama
she
up.
beat her too. One was in NoGi, one was in Gi. So
I don't watch the Gi.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
I'll
I'll watch it every
fucks
now
with
and
that
then.
gi.
I watch Gi when it's exciting. I watch guys like Mikey Musumisi and
Yeah.
Nick Marigali, guys like when I see guys that actually are gonna try to submit,
Yeah.
I watch some Gi. I watch Buchecha in the Gi. The guys that are just trying to get the advantage or get the takedown and then do anti-jiu-jitsu, I don't watch a whole lot of that. But that goes
Like
for
I hate
no
to
gi, too.
say names, but like I love the Meow brothers, but it's like a lot of it is you're getting stuck in a position and then stalling, or just going back and forth getting the points. Like, what are we really doing?
And not only that, but up until and even now, because even though they legalized heel hooks, they still do a lot of in position things to decentivize attacking the legs. So with IBJJF, man, for the longest time, oh yeah, this guy won IBJJF. I'm like, cool, you won fake jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's entire situations where guys will get into 50-50 and uncross their legs and start trying to stack to one side or the other to get an advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not real, because if you the minute you try to do that, you're giving heel exposure and you get bit. You know what I mean? You get finished. There's entire situations that are occurring because of no consequence, solely because of the rule set that you've put in place. So I'm kind of like, this doesn't feel authentic. You know what I mean? So I never really watched a whole lot of those tournaments anyway.
Yeah.
So you're saying they're putting somewhat rules in that are not allowing people to do some of the same stuff you would do in no-gi type stuff.
Yeah, imagine a boxing match where you told both guys that they couldn't punch to the head.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he
Whoops.
did. I think he did. They were allowed to punch the head. They just
Yeah.
weren't allowed
Yeah.
to go for knockouts.
I think they made a gentleman's agreement. Hey,
Yeah,
Let's not get-
they
Yeah,
knew they were both winning
Or
that fight.
think about telling Deontay Wilder, all right, we're gonna compete in this boxing match, but you can't throw a right hand.
oh,
Yeah.
So literally,
It's like a hindrance.
So
just
literally
because
the
you know
the
it's-
entire time. Imagine if you told Deontay Wilder you can't throw a right hand, and you're putting him against, I don't know, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is just gonna circle off to the right every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to worry about running
Yeah.
into power.
Yeah.
Right?
There's
so
no attack,
that's an
yeah.
entire thing that's happening in this hypothetical boxing match, because there's no consequence. The real consequence that actually happens in
It's
real life.
illegal, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
If those two were on the street and he dipped off to the right.
Get his shit rocked.
Yeah. It's the same thing. If we were out and about and we scrapped and we got into a grappling
Exchange,
and you did this, I would break your leg.
Yeah, for sure.
So how is this authentic? I get it. It's a game. It's all a game at the end of the day. But
They figure out a way to make it a sport so that I think ultimately they wanted it. Gordon talks about it all the time, where it's we are a spectator sport, where the people that are spectators are typically the people that are doing the sport as well.
yeah, we don't have a whole lot of casuals.
Yeah, it's very rare. I think that's why, in my opinion, why ADCC isn't bigger. I mean, I know this next year it's in Vegas, but that's our Super Bowl. That's our Olympics.
That's the Olympics, dude.
Dude, I take off work
To watch.
so I could watch the entire event.
It's like a whole
I'm not
weekend
gonna.
thing or week long fucking.
It's like a 3-day event because you got
I'm very not knowledgeed in this
I
kind
think
of
it's.
stuff.
I
so-
think it's.
yeah.
It can be a 3-day, 2-day. I think last time was a 2-day.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's you're watching the best 8 people in the world in whatever division it is, and I
16.
think or 16.
Yeah.
But in the girls, I think there's only 4 divisions.
2 actually.
2.
Yeah, only 2 divisions. And Gabby Garcia wins one of them every year.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about who's the real ADCC GOAT, it's probably Gabby.
Yeah, really.
But
How many
She's got the greatest
has
record.
yeah, what's her record?
I don't think she. Well, she's never been beat.
I think we all stopped counting. As
Yeah,
far as ADCC, I'm pretty sure she's never lost to ADCC.
okay.
Yeah.
But like the best people in the world, all in one weekend fight, and
it's like a tournament style, like bracket type stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
And the last one was the best one.
yes,
For sure.
100%.
They had one in 2020.
No, it was 2019. But
They do it every 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
so the winner of your division, or all the winners of their divisions, can fight in the absolute.
What
And I
that
think
is.
sometimes they might have like a. Well, what did Chael fight in? Because he was just an alternate, right? Like
Oh, that was 2017.
yeah, but
So
but that wasn't
2017
absolute, was it? That was
No, he was in absolute. He got eliminated by Craig. So he won like a super fight. It wasn't the super fight championship.
yeah,
Because Galval's had that for like
Yeah.
a few years now.
5 years now.
Yeah, something like that. But Chael had a super match with, a super fight, whatever, with Leo Vieira. And I think he beat him on points. And then he's like, I want to hop in the absolute. And they're like, hell, go for it.
Okay.
And I think...
I was wondering how he was allowed in because I thought somebody got injured and he stepped in.
That might have been it. But I know for a fact that there was nothing. The only thing that they do as far as like prohibiting stuff is that obviously if you're the super fight champion or if you're competing in the super fight championship, so like say I'm pretty sure Galval's retiring from jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
say Galval and Gordon are fighting at the next ADCC and one of them wants to compete in the absolute.
They can't
They
because
can't
they'd fight
because
themselves.
yeah, because if one of them wins, they won't be able to fight themselves. The only way you would be able to for that to work out would be if you lost your super fight and won the absolute, and it'd just be a rematch, which isn't guaranteed. So, but Chael I think was allowed to step in because his super fight was just like a one-off. It was like a legacy legends fight or whatever.
But basically, whoever wins the absolute can then fight the winner of last event's absolute. It's every 2 years.
And absolute is the like
Absolute weight, any weight. So all the champions of all the weight classes can fight.
Oh, okay.
And bro, every opening round, the top of the bracket, they always have the smallest guy in the bracket versus the biggest.
Yeah.
Like last year,
It's like 1C
or no, it was
versus
the year before last. Yeah,
Who
they put Keith Krikorian against Boucher.
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
So
And
it's like
Bouchecha is like
thing.
265.
Yeah, he's yoked.
And like 6'8" or something like that. I can't
I
remember
think
height.
he's-
No, not 6'8".
He's about my height, but
Yeah.
way
but
more
stacked.
I mean, he literally looks like a football player.
Okay.
He just fucking
And the guy who was fighting was like my height.
yeah.
yeah, and probably less weight.
Yeah,
How much do you weigh?
like 180.
No, he's less than you.
He's
Keith,
155, I thought.
he walks around 155. He competed at ADCC at 145.
I'm really bad on kilograms, like the whole 66, 77, 88,
66
99.
equals out to somewhere like 144 or some shit.
So
like
that had to
I
be
don't
it.
remember.
He had to be like the 66.
And
so
here's
that-
the thing: is you weigh in at the beginning every day for ADCC.
Yeah.
So you can't really go over. You can't like dehydrate and make the weight unless it's only
Yeah.
a small amount.
It's
and
not
you
like a
get
hardcore weight cut.
Yeah,
like fucking
if you're
3
gonna
days
cut
before.
weight for it, like each day, it has to be like something minimal that you can put right back in you right then and there.
Yeah, and then be able to take off the next
so
day too.
Boucher had probably close to 120 pounds on
Holy
Keith.
shit,
Yeah.
dude, that's insane. So it's like like 1 versus 8 and then 2 versus 7 or whatever. Like ranked wise, is that kind of how it's going, or is it just
They don't
always
go by- they don't-
sizes?
They don't go by ranked. It's literally just luck of the draw as far as
Oh, okay.
absolute,
The only thing that I know, because I guess this is a new rule, is that if there's teammates in it, they have to fight the second round of the absolute.
They have to fight in the, I think, quarters or semis.
Yeah, because they can't be in the semi or the final and like, what do they call it when you like, hey, gentlemen's agreement, we're just gonna walk
Close out.
close out.
Yeah.
They can't close out. Like they can't decide like, yo, we're just not gonna fight. Like if you would go to like tournaments, you would see where like teammates, like a lot of the times it's kids, because
Yeah.
kids are fucking, there's 1,000 kids, but you'll have like kids from whatever gym and they'll both be in the same weight class.
Yeah.
They'll fight to the final and then they'll just be like, all right, this dude won.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll get it the next time because we're going to do this again because
Yeah,
we're
okay.
just that good or whatever.
Dude, me and Chase have fought in the finals of tournaments probably like a dozen times. The only time I've ever closed out a bracket ever. It was in New Orleans at Grapple Fest, and it was like I didn't even know we were getting paid. I just went out there to shake some rust. But me and my teammate Justin Raymer closed out the final, and Justin actually had an MMA fight coming up. So he's like, "Yeah, dude, let's just close it out, and we'll split the money." And like, he's like, "Because I don't want to risk getting injured before my fight." And I was like, "All right, cool."
Have
like,
you talked to him recently?
Yeah, I've talked to Raymer.
He trained at Remedy like a few times when I was there. Such a good dude, like such a chill guy. Like, it's such a good vibe, you know?
Raymer's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, he's athletic as shit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's literally like a sponge. Like, you teach him anything, he retains it.
Where does he train right now?
He has his own place up in Bay Minette. He was running 10th Planet Atmore.
Okay.
But he kind of fell victim to the same thing that I did with the affiliation change. So... I'm sure he'll probably reaffiliate when he gets his black belt as well. But yeah, like Justin's training up there in Bay Minette right now with his guys.
So how many 10th Planet affiliated gyms are there? I mean, is it like too many to count at this? Like, it's
for me to count, I couldn't tell. I have to ask Eddie.
Damn.
I mean,
so it's gotten to that point where they're just everywhere. Huh?
Yeah.
But they're kind of changing that up a little bit now that you have to, like you're talking about, you have to have a certain amount of time and a black belt before you can be considered affiliated with 10th Planet, right? But even then, there's still an insane number, huh?
Yeah, so like you have to be. I mean, I think if you're grandfathered in, like some people are still in there, but like if you're a 10th Planet black belt, you want to open your own school, you can affiliate with Eddie. That's about it.
Okay.
But you have to be a 10th Planet black belt. Eddie doesn't want, say, I don't know, Joe Smith Jiu-Jitsu black belt to come over and then open up a 10th Planet gym, because the guy doesn't actually know 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the intricacies of the 10th Planet system.
Yeah.
Like whether or not you use it, if you're a 10th Planet, a head instructor at an academy, you should probably at least know the basic path of rubber guard.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not you use it is one thing, but you should at least be able to teach the 10th Planet specific stuff.
Right.
I feel like, to be honest, man, I kind of feel like every affiliation should probably be that way. Like, I see a lot of guys who open up gyms, and then they have like they just don't want to rep this team anymore. They do this or that, and they're like, all right, well, I'm switching from Gracie Baja to Soul Fighters or Gracie Humaita or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but if I actually walked into your gym, like, say, I don't know, name a famous jiu-jitsu guy.
Damn, Craig Jones, Gordon Ryan, Nicky Ryan.
All right, let's say...
I'm like blanking on...
So let's say Gordon Ryan. Yeah. So let's say I trained under... I've trained under Sean Applegate.
Andrew Wetzel.
Yeah.
Or Wiltsey.
Wiltsey from Pedigo. So let's say I've trained under Sean pretty much white to brown.
Yeah.
Let's say all of a sudden I like jumped off the team and I went and joined Gordon's team and I opened up a Danaher Death Squad affiliate, in my town.
Yeah.
And you walked into my gym and you said, "All right, man, show me some Danaher Jiu-Jitsu." Do you think I'd be able to show you?
No.
Exactly.
Because all you have is yours.
All I have is Sean Applegate Jiu-Jitsu and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Like, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you, like, of course, like, not all of your jiu-jitsu is going to come solely from one source. Like, there's tons of stuff that I've learned over the years from training with other guys. Like, there's some stuff I learned from Adlai Cleveland, who's trained with Eric Paulson, and I've learned some stuff from Nathan Orchard, who's trained with Aaron Milam and Jason Flynn and those guys. Like, a lot of our jiu-jitsu comes from Brandon, who we're actually kind of is part of our lineage, and Brandon has trained with Hickson before. So not all of your jiu-jitsu is, like, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I almost don't believe in jumping bandwagons and stuff. Like, I feel like if you're going to affiliate with somebody, it should probably be because you either you identify with them morally or their jiu-jitsu to an extent. I don't really knock anybody. I don't talk shit about people for doing what they want to do, but I mean, if you just go and pay them money just to have their name on your wall, I'm kind of like, do you know any of their stuff? Like, why this brand? You know what I mean? It's like me getting a Nike tattoo on my arm. Like, why Nike? Did you work for them or something? Like, you know what I mean?
Now, I have a question that this might sound really dumb, but as far as like different, like you're talking about 10th Planet and stuff like that, when it comes to how different those basics are you're talking about that you need to know in order to affiliate with them, how different are I mean, from somebody who's coming from the outside that doesn't know anything about this, how different are these?
It's weird to explain because, like, for us, we're going to visibly see it. Like, you walking into Remedy versus walking into 10th Planet, you're going to see pretty quick difference.
Okay.
But, like, from an outsider,
yeah,
it's like me walking into Global Grill's kitchen and me walking into McDonald's kitchen. All I'm going to really notice is, like, the way things visibly look. Like, as far as, like, the food you're cooking. But, like, the food you're cooking is, like, the actual skill.
It's a lot of technique-wise type stuff.
And it's also, like, what's on the menu. Like, you go to this one school, they're very gi heavy. They're going to specialize in, like, clock chokes and bow and arrows and stuff like that. You go to this NoGi school who are, NoGi specialists. They're probably going to, specialize in, like, rear naked chokes, back takes, leg locks, stuff like that. So it's really what's on the menu as far as, like, attacks and submissions, and what are they doing to procure those things. You know what I mean? So, like, the control, it's all jiu-jitsu, man. Like, nothing's necessarily, like branded as far as techniques, but it's kind of like.
But you have a way of doing things, and like everybody's kind of got their own like.
A lot of it is indeed preference.
Okay,
because you'll even inside of that, like NoGi, there's gonna be like wrestling heavy schools versus like.
And I guess I get because like
guard heavy schools.
Like you're talking about in like restaurant type stuff. Each chef wants their restaurant run a specific, with their kitchen run a specific way.
Yeah.
So like you can go to a chef's restaurant in Montreal versus, Cali, and it'll be ran the same way, but it's, two totally separate restaurants or two different kitchens, but that's how his kitchen's set up, and that's how he likes things run. So I guess it is kind of that.
Like, and what's so weird about like kitchens and gyms is like they can look the same, but what is done in them can be completely different.
I mean, trust me, man. You go to like a really laid back school, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then you go to like a super culty school where like, if you're a lower rank, you can't ask a black belt to roll, or some weird shit. Or you have to buy their rash guard and their gi. You can't wear your own shit.
Or you can only wear a certain color or something.
Like, this is weird.
Yeah, I remember where I came from. Like my first gym ever, which doesn't exist anymore. It's like a personal fitness thing now, but your belt couldn't touch the ground ever. Like. When you're rolling, that's different, but it can't come off you and be on the ground without you touching it. Mm-hmm. You have to have it off the ground. You had to wear the same colors on the same day. Like, you had to have their gi. Like, if you didn't have their gi, it was only somebody that was, like, really high up. Mm-hmm. And they typically had the patches or whatnot. It was just, like, you couldn't compete when we aren't competing, and we only compete once a year. And it's like...
Yeah, it sounds like a cult.
Yeah. Like, so
it was here, man.
It was a money thing, It was like,
again, that sounds like a cult.
Very.
I mean,
and that's why everybody dipped out from there, and he's not a gym.
From like an outside standpoint, though, if and we've talked about this before, if you're wanting to bring jiu-jitsu up, right, then you would want people to be able to get into it and not have to do all those things and be able to compete when they wanted, and like, shit like that. And
you support the team in their goals, like what he started off with saying. Yeah. Like, you're going to hold people accountable to the goal they want. So if they want to compete, hold them accountable. Yeah. If they don't, hold them accountable to that. Like,
but just in the correct way.
Yeah, well, there's like a difference, man. Like, say, I don't know, like I got a guy, my buddy Dimitri, he's one of my blue belts. He trains hard, dude. And he trains just as hard as all the the pros and the competitors in the gym. But he has his own business. He runs full time. He has 2 little girls, a wife, and a boy on the way. If that dude says, hey, man, I'm going to take the week off, I'm really sore, or I'm kind of burned out, I'm like, yeah, you probably should take the week off because you're doing this for fun. And if you're burned out and you keep doing it, then it's not going to be fun to you anymore. Yeah. So, yeah, take a week off, dude. But if Dylan Chastain or Cameron Reed come to me and say, hey, man, I'm kind of not feeling it, I'm just going to take the week off, I'm probably going to go, all right, man, that's a really dumb decision.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Because you want to compete, right? You want to compete. You have goals in the sport. Well, guess what? As a competitor, not all your days are going to be fun. You have to learn how to cope with that. So unless you're injured, tough luck.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't see this before, but like the more time goes on in jiu-jitsu, like the more I appreciate those bad days, because one, it shows you your holes. Also, it shows you like your mental holes, because you're like letting something as small as an hour of training that didn't go well ruin your entire day, or like put a vibe on like a week. It shows you your holes there of like, man, I need to not let this get to me. I know it's important to me, but I need to like approach it differently. I don't need it to like kill my mood. I need it to drive me to be better.
To be better, yeah.
Yeah.
To learn
Like,
from
there's
it and
like-
keep, yeah.
Yeah, there's like, I really can't suggest jujitsu enough, dude. Like,
For sure. That's the thing is like I think people don't understand like what you're talking about though isn't necessarily just a jiu-jitsu thing, it's a perspective thing,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
but
So-
That can
jujitsu
transfer
showed
to-
me
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you use jiu-jitsu as the vehicle to get
Yeah,
that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So like I went through a period probably about late 2018, early 2019 where I was like really burned out. To be honest, man, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep doing the jiu-jitsu thing. I was like, man, I was really depressed and like in a really weird time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a lot of talking to Sean, who's always told me the truth. He's never like tried to bullshit me or like fill my head with nonsense.
Yeah.
So and one of the things that Sean's kind of like, and this is over like the last several years, he's kind of instilled in me is like, dude, if there's one thing you could ever be, it should probably be grateful. You know what I mean? Because like during that time when I was kind of slumped, I would come into the gym and I'd be like, man, I don't want to fucking be here. Like I don't want to be here, dude. I want to be at home. I want to go home and lay down. I'm tired. Half these people, that are here, like, I'm probably bringing them down or this or that, or you know what I mean? Or I'm just, especially like back in the old days when I first started off, when I first took the gym over and my classes weren't very big. Some nights they were empty. You leave the gym like almost in tears, like nobody wants to learn from me. And,
Yeah.
But eventually I kind of saw, I'm like, dude, like half the dudes in this gym have jobs, they work like 9 to 5s or whatever. Half of them are like working on a boat or construction, or they run their own business. They have some sort of crazy stressful or shitty job that they have to work. Some of them, God forbid, have to like serve tables or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they do that, and then at the end of all that shit they deal with all day long, the highlight of it is they get to come learn jiu-jitsu for me. Like that's the highlight. They're like, damn, I can't wait till I get off so I can go do jiu-jitsu and learn jiu-jitsu from Josh. I'm like,
Yeah.
how shitty of me to be like unappreciative of that. You know what I mean? So like the fact that I kind of like sat and stewed on that for a bit, I'm like, damn. So the last couple of years I've kind of learned how to be a bit more grateful. Like even when I'm tired, I'm like, well, beats a 9 to 5. I'd rather be tired and stressed out and teaching jiu-jitsu, and getting work in than going home and like, feeling shitty and having to wake up and go to another shit job tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like a lot of people don't get that. And those bad days, if you're going to be a competitor, are necessary because it teaches you to be grateful. Like as bad, you could literally get smoked and get tapped like probably like 30 times in one round.
Oh yeah.
And it's still better than any shit day on a normal, like out in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, dude, it's like, that's why it's insane. Like, people aren't more appreciative. Like, for example, Trey, because I don't know a ton of like owners, but Trey works full time.
Oh yeah, doesn't he work for Gulf Coast Power or something?
Yeah, Gulf Power. Yeah, yeah. Has a family.
Yeah.
Goes to church. Has a gym. Has a what would you call it? A promotion?
Yeah, promotion. Yeah.
A promotion. Like, sometimes I feel like we do a lot. Like, but then I'm like, yeah, but then Trey. But Trey exists.
Yeah.
So it's like, you work for the things that you want in life, and sometimes it gets busy, but it's like being grateful for those things is so important, because you could have nothing. You could not have a car. You could not have a house. You could not have food.
Yeah.
You could not have legs. Like,
and then you get into this entirely different scenario. And this is something that Sean warned me about from like the very beginning, and me and Chase have talked about this a bunch too. And I warn all of my students of it, because you see, and this the most time you'll probably see it if you're in jiu-jitsu, and you probably see it in everyday life too, is people who put their self-worth into things they can't control, right? So like in jiu-jitsu, you see it when someone's chasing that next belt. Like,
yeah.
damn, I can't. They feel like shit because, oh man, I'm not a blue belt, or oh this or that, or maybe they view their self-worth in how many taps they can get that night, and they don't submit anybody in the gym that night, so they go home feeling like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they try to be competitive in the gym where it really doesn't matter, and they fall short. And dude, could you imagine going into your gym feeling like this pressure on your shoulders to beat everybody up every night? I would quit right away, because that would make me feel miserable.
Yeah.
And
It can be exhausting.
yeah, and in
Yeah.
and in the rest of life, you see people who do that with other things, like, oh yeah, dude, I've got this nice car. or I'm dating this hot chick or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like, or I've got this nice house, you know, I'm a baller, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't control none of that shit. What happened? Like, you can't control when you're gonna get your belt. You know what I mean?
Can't.
All what you can control is how hard you train.
Yeah.
You know, how well you treat your teammates. You know, you can't. I mean, yeah, you can buy your car, you can buy your house, this, that, or you know, you can date this. What happens when this girl breaks up with you?
Yeah.
What happens when your house burns down? What happens when you wreck your car? What happens when someone steals your identity and, like, you know, takes all that money out of your bank
wrecks
account?
your credit and all that
Yeah,
shit.
man. Like, so, like, what happens when you put your self-worth in those silly things that could literally just go away like that?
Disappear.
Or either that, or they're just not attainable to you of your own volition. You know what I mean? Like, you can't control when you're going to get your next belt, but you can control your work ethic. You can put your self-worth, like, instead of saying, hey, I'm a purple belt. You shouldn't say that. You should go, oh, man, I'm a really hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm a good teammate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something I feel like people need to put maybe a little bit more stress on these days.
Dude, one of the greatest and most motivational things I've ever heard in my life that gives me chills every time I used to listen to it, like before I would compete, is Ray Lewis giving his effort speech.
Was that the football coach?
He was, no, that's a different guy, but he also has really good speeches. No, Ray Lewis was a linebacker for the Ravens, but it was like before one of the Super Bowls, and they won that Super Bowl, but he was like, effort is priceless. You can't put a price on that. So you better, like, train your ass off.
Yeah.
I need you every play, every second. But just the way he speaks and the way, dude, it moves you. It gives you chills, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that dude makes me want to run through a fucking wall.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I've never met him.
Shit.
I mean, what he's saying is true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, and to be honest, like, I feel like content like that is a bit more like, we need more shit like that these days, because, and this is going off on another tangent than we were talking about before, but I see a lot of people, a lot of the issues that we deal with, like, today in the world is mental health, right? Where it's like, oh, this person's racist, or this person's crazy, or we have this or that. And I'm like, man, like, here's the thing is, mental health is just like your physical health. If you're looking at your physical health, if you don't exercise, if you don't take in good nutrients, you know, if you don't, you know, consume,
Work at it.
yeah, if you don't keep your body sharp by consuming the proper content and nutrition,
Yeah.
you'll become unhealthy. You'll develop physical illness.
Yeah.
Your mental health, man. I mean, you're gonna see negative shit every day. You're gonna see something. I saw something on the news earlier today about a guy in Mississippi who killed his baby mama and nephew, and then took his kid in the car and got shot in the car or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's terrible. But I saw that, and that's inevitable. Like, you can go out into the Walmart.
Yeah, there will be
you can go to
anomalies of
yeah,
everything.
yeah, you're gonna see
Go
negative
to Waffle
shit,
House
right?
at midnight.
Exactly.
And see some
Yeah,
shit. You know what I'm
dude, see
saying?
the
Like,
crackhead over
fuck.
there, like,
Oh,
twitching
dude,
outside.
I got a story to tell you guys after this.
But yeah,
continue.
like, but you can't prevent negative intake, right?
It's what you focus on.
Yeah, but it's not just what you focus on, but if you don't compensate for the eventual negative, you know, content that you take in,
Yeah.
with, you know, if you don't take that in consideration by also consuming positive material
things, yeah.
to kind of counteract that, like, you have to have, you know, read you a good book or listen to some inspirational person that you find enlightening, or hell, just watch a funny TV show.
Yeah, or
You know
things
what I
that
mean?
make you feel good in general.
Yeah, dude,
I'll
like
weigh the bad with the good stuff, you know,
like,
and you know, mentally.
I'll say this, and this is honestly the truth. It doesn't matter what it is, and you're gonna have days that are shit and they're gonna be bad. But one thing I've tried to work on is I try to do at least one thing, even if it's just for like a second. I try to do one thing every day that makes me smile, whether it's laugh or smile, or just go, "Huh, that's fucking funny," or whatever.
Yeah.
I try to, find one thing that makes you smile, even if it's just for like a split second every day.
Yeah.
Always try to consume positive content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as your one thing isn't like hurting people and killing babies or kicking puppies or whatever, then have fun.
I think that's why we bond so much, because like we're so into comedy.
Yeah.
So we're always like,
It's as soon
Always cutting up.
as we get in the house together, shit's going down.
Oh, dude,
you know what I'm saying?
y'all's page for the podcast is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Dude,
Oh yeah, dude.
Cam, you guys followed Cam, but Cam like he had his phone. He goes, "Dude, what the fuck is this?" I was like,
Said who?
I was like, "Yeah, dude, they're good." He goes, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think that's the one thing that we want to do. Like you're talking about, intake positive content. You know, it's like that's kind of what you know, the whole thing is we want people to laugh. We want to make people laugh. We want to make it positive
Yeah,
for
it's
people.
hilarious.
You know, so
Yeah,
it's like that's, you know, the main goal of making people feel better and fucking making people laugh, you know? That's what we're trying to do out here.
We all, like, in a weird way do that already. Like, you teaching jujitsu will make people feel good because they're learning something and they feel fulfilled inside. He cooks. Eating makes people feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I do, but
Dude,
I'm around.
Well, you do a podcast, dude.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or hell, we're gonna be reffing this weekend, dude. You know,
really?
are you gonna be reffing at the?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna be reffing matches, getting to hang out with all the kids, watch them do their thing, and there's all sorts of things you can do. You know what I mean? I will say that reffing kids matches does make me nervous.
It does.
I love the kid. I love the kids. I love them, but I hate reffing their matches.
One of the funniest things that happens is, like, you'll get two kids. A parent will be, like, so into their kid doing jiu-jitsu, and the kid is not into it at all.
And they'll just
stand there
like,
screaming, or they'll start crying, and you have to call it because, like, you can't cry. Like, you lost because you won't compete, or they'll just, like, dap up, and then they'll just...
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, Jesus.
Man, the only thing...
They don't even want to do it.
The only thing that, like, I love watching kids compete, and I love kids, but, like, I hate reffing their matches, dude. And it's not because I don't enjoy, like, watching kids compete. It's because...
The parents?
Not the parents. It's that and to this, thankfully, it's never happened to me. Sometimes it's beyond your control and freak shit happens, but you can't let the kids get hurt, man.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be, like, if you're reffing some adults, then it's whatever. Like, you guys...
Break that shit.
Yeah, like, you guys are big boys,
they
big
in
dog.
there
like,
for, you know,
you
they
guys
know
are
they're
big
in
boys. You guys are adults. You know what you're getting yourself into. I'm here. When you say tap or you tap, I'm in there like swimwear. Like, I got you. We're done. But if you don't say tap,
Your shit got broke, son.
hey, man.
And you know what? You know what's so dicey
With
on
the kids, you got to be on your toes, though.
Yeah.
What's so dicey
like a
about that,
constant
though, is,
fucking-
like, if you come in and then a parent's like, oh, he didn't tap her, he wasn't even close.
You're like, dude.
Yeah, but if it looks
fucking-
like, if it's extended and it looks close, we have to
You're
call
gonna, yeah.
because you can't break a kid's arm and then what?
Yeah. Then the kid arm, bro.
I had a dad that got mad at me one time as I was reffing, I forgot which tournament it was. It might have been like a Fuji or a Naga or whatever, but I stopped it. His kid got his arm rotated, and his thumb actually did, like, his arm got extended. Now his thumb did kind of do the little hitchhiker, the corkscrew, whatever. He didn't start turning yet, but he did kind of turn his thumb.
Yeah.
And I stopped it. And his dad goes, "Dude, what the hell? Like, he was gonna get out." And I'm like, "I'm not saying he wouldn't have." And actually, he's like, "Man, that's bullshit." I was like, "Bro, give me a second. Let me talk to you off the side." I pulled him off the side. I was like, "Hey, man, sorry you feel that way. He might have gotten out. I'm not saying he wouldn't have. And, you know, all I'm saying is that I'm not at liberty to let your son get hurt.
Yeah.
Not only am I told explicitly by the promoters of this tournament not to let kids get hurt, I also can't have it on my conscience. I would feel terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'd rather that than your kid
exactly.
walk away.
And I was like, if you genuinely,
Broken arm.
I was
I'll
like,
take a yelling from you for a little bit.
yeah, and I told him, I was
over-
like, dude, if you genuinely feel like I did you dirty intentionally, I'll pay for your kid's entry. Like, I'll refund you your entry from out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the guy was like super cool, and he goes, "No, man, I see your point." You know what I mean? Like, and you know
typically people, like, they don't. It's like everybody's got that syndrome of, like, you don't understand what it is because you're not in that position.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be like, why aren't these celebrities doing better? They're going crazy because they're millionaires. Just like the people on the side of the, like, the spectators or the parents, they're like, why did you call that? Well, you don't see what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Most of the time, too, the refs are a little more experienced than the parent. The parent's just watching the kid do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's not like the parent always does jiu-jitsu.
No.
That does happen sometimes, but not always. They're just like, yeah, but my kid was dominating. Not so much. Because he almost got tapped.
Hey.
I honestly respect the opinion more of the parents that do train when they do that. I haven't had a whole lot of them, like, disagree with me on calls, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've reffed matches with Kobe Shields.
Yeah.
We had Chico and his dad Casey cornering, and, you know, I've never heard anything like from them. We're like, oh, this, like, no, because they're acknowledged and they're not like up front and, you know, in the scene like I am being the ref, but they see the positions. They see, you know what I mean? Like, whether he wins or loses, they get to see and they acknowledge what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Like, not only whether they see or don't see what I'm seeing, they at least kind of acknowledge, well, okay, like, you at least have perspective and know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And similarly, if I have a parent that says, hey, well, what about this? And it's a parent that trains, I'm going to be like, okay, well, what are you talking about? Like, let's talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to this, dummy parent that's living vicariously through their kid. It's like, oh, you did this wrong or this or that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, bro.
Yeah, there's more to the story than what you think you're seeing.
Yeah. And you try to tell people that. Like, I always try to, like, acknowledge people and talk to them and stuff. I never try to cold shoulder anybody, but sometimes people just want to be fucking stupid, bro. Like, and it's unfortunate.
Driving home, because I get stuck in traffic every day we have to record, but driving home, I just think, like, dude, there's too many fucking people, period. Like, this Thanos guy,
way too many of
he has some shit figured out.
Who?
Thanos?
Oh, yeah.
The whole... There's something to that, bro.
Oh, bro, well, they're getting down on that, dude. For sure they are. So, do you guys know what eugenics is? Eugenics? You know what that is?
That sounds familiar.
You for sure have heard of it. So Hitler gets a bunch of the credit for it, but they were doing it here like early on in this country before Hitler even knew who he was mad at. And it's the forced sterilization of undesirables.
Wow.
Which sounds kind of bad.
Yeah.
And the way they were doing it was bad, right? So like they sterilized like criminals and stuff, rapists, which I'm cool with. Yeah. They also did it to like the mentally handicapped, the mentally disturbed, the perverted, which is far too vague. Yeah, and they also did it to gay people, which makes perfect sense because we wouldn't want them breeding, right? Like
what?
That's like when you were a kid when you were a kid and you got like yelled at by your parents and you were walking off to your room and they said go to your room and you're like, bitch, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Like that's
I'm
what
here.
Like that's pretty much the same as like
what did you think was gonna happen?
But here's the thing is like I feel like what's going on now and this is where your 10th planet conspiracy theory is going to kick in. This is your dose of that.
Look into it.
You'll probably get your...
Look into it?
Well, it's probably going to happen.
I'll send you a link.
Your video is probably going to get fact-checked later, actually.
Oh, shit.
So, and you guys can actually bring this up. So, I think it was like 2012 or whatever. Bill Gates did a TED Talk, and in it he mentions, like, taking down, like, the CO2 output of the population, right? And he's like, there's like 8 means or whatever. He's like, we have to decrease several things if we're going to take down our CO2 output. And he goes, the first one, population. He says, Earth right now is 6.8 billion people. It's very quickly approaching 9 billion people. If we do a really good job with reproductive services, this is the explicit part, and he says, and new vaccines, we could curve that and take it down by at least 10 to 15%. And so I see that, and I'll send you this link later if you actually put it.
It says Bill Gates vaccines are used for depopulation.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is like, no, I actually can send you the video where he said it. I have it on my phone right now. Yeah. So I'm like, how do vaccines help curb the population unless they either kill people or they sterilize them?
Yeah.
Right. So then you look at all this other stuff, like Krispy Kreme. Get a free donut if you bring in your vaccination card, right? Or Sam Adams, come to the brewery and get a free beer if you bring your vaccine card. Or whatever the fuck. Marlboro will probably come out with one next. Free cigarettes.
Krispy Kreme was doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Well,
Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts.
Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts did it. Sam Adams did it. A couple other companies did it. I'm sure Marlboro cigarettes or Camel's Crush or whatever the fuck probably do it next.
Who else did it that was like so contradicting to the actual...
So think about it, though. Think about that. What does that tell you? They're like, we want you to get a vaccine. Here, go get that vaccine. Come back. We'll give you a donut. We'll give you a beer. We'll give you a cigarette. We'll give you whatever. They're incentivizing the vaccine. Why would you incentivize? When has that ever been done in history ever?
Yeah.
Right? So now they're not making you get the vaccine. They're either incentivizing you getting the vaccine. That's how they're going to get the poor people to do it. Yeah. And the poor people are the people they don't want breeding. Right?
Yeah.
Allegedly. I'm probably going to catch some shit for this, but whatever.
This will be taken down.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we'll get fact checked. I'll probably get put on a watch list somewhere. But on the flip side of that, there's all the guys like my buddy Skippy. He's a boat captain for a commercial boat.
Of course, and, that name.
Yeah.
Got to.
Captain Skippy. Yeah. He just had to get his vaccine to go back off on the boat. And he's like, dude, I'm pretty sure that if you want to go out of the country in the next little bit, you have to get a vaccine.
Yeah, you're not
like,
gonna be able to
so
do anything.
they're either gonna like stiff arm you or they're gonna incentivize you to get it, right? So like it looks to me like incentivized eugenics. So they're not forcing anybody to get it, and they're not deciding who's undesirable. They're incentivizing you to get it and letting you decide who's undesirable yourself.
Well, this is like a legit conspiracy.
This is really
That makes, but
like how many?
I'm not crazy for suggesting this, am I? Like you get where I'm coming from.
Now, if you were crazy, you're selling it pretty well.
I was about to say, this sounds pretty not crazy to me. If you're crazy.
Now, if you would have just said like 2 sentences about it, I would have been like, what? But you explaining it, you laid it out pretty clear that it's like.
And I've actually like tried to get people to.
Makes you do one of these.
I've asked a couple people like, dude, how do vaccines like help decrease or like curb the population growth? How do vaccines help with pop control? And no one's been able to give me like a solid answer. I'm like, the only 2 things I come up with are sterilization or just killing people. Yeah, like what is it? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not into flat Earth. I'm not Eddie. I'm not into flat Earth. I'm not into chemtrails. I do think there's some serious incentivized eugenics.
Here's a question. Do you think? Now I know this has been like a huge thing of where the COVID-19 actually started, right?
Okay.
Whether it was actually made in a lab somewhere and then released,
bro,
or if it was.
You didn't see it? Mickey Mouse and Stan Marsh fucked a pangolin. You didn't see that?
I did not see that. Send me that link.
No, that's South Park. South Park did a special where like Mickey Mouse and Stan Marsh like fucked a bat, and then they found out it wasn't a bat, it was a pangolin, and then they flashed back to them like fucking a pangolin.
Wow.
So,
yikes.
But yeah, I think it's man-made.
Okay, because also that ties into the whole population control as well. Because like, think about what this is, the whole COVID-19 thing was aimed to take people. You know what kind of people it's aimed to take out? It's all older people and people with kind of immune disorders that can't handle things as well and stuff like that. And it's like that seems a little too right on there, guys.
Cutting
it's
the
like,
trim.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know there's all different kinds of people saying, "Oh no, there's no way we've done tests to show that it wasn't made, man-made or anything like that." And it's like,
it's really weird, man, because like also you have all these like liberal news sources that they want like somebody young to die from it. You know what I mean? Like they want a young person to die from it so that they can paint like,
hang their hat on it.
Yeah, like see a healthy person died. And I saw one link where it's like perfectly healthy 15-year-old dies from COVID, and then you click on it and this kid's like morbidly obese, and I'm like, perfectly healthy. Makes sense. Yeah. So like people are, oh yeah, he's perfectly healthy. I'm like, well, that you know of, like, since when can you assess someone's health by looking at a picture of them in an article? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like after the age of like, I don't know, like the average person, let's say like 70, 75, they're going to have some like literal like like almost a mandatory like health problem after that age, you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
They come with the health problem.
Exactly. Like I forgot the word I'm looking for. My vocabulary, like I have brain farts all the time. But yeah, like just like an onset of some sort of like health struggle as soon as you reach like the higher upper age, you know what I mean?
Now, isn't it called a COVID morbidity if somebody dies with other things and with COVID and they just call it COVID?
Yeah.
They still
it ties into it ties into the
but I think it's called a COVID morbidity.
Because if you have all these other if you're going through all kinds of other shit and then you happen to get COVID and then you die from whether it be COVID or not, and it's
like the guys in New Jersey, like they got caught like labeling a fucking gunshot victim as a COVID death because he tested positive for COVID. And then you have the pay scale. So like Scott Jensen, who's a senator for Minnesota, he was a doctor. He wasn't just he was a like a senator, but he's also a doctor. And all the healthcare providers, like all the doctorates and all that stuff, and healthcare facilities got issued a 7-page document by the CDC. Amongst it was how they instructed you how to diagnose someone as COVID-19 positive without a positive lab result.
So they could get funding, right?
So yeah, so basically, like if they could say, oh, he's got a fever, he's got a cough, he's got this, he's got that.
COVID.
No, COVID.
Yeah.
And like, you want us to test? Take it to a lab? No, we're good.
Yeah.
COVID.
He's got it for sure.
He's got it. Yeah. And then the pay scale was $13,000 as a grant for
Per
any
person?
per any positive COVID case in the hospital. And then the next one was $39,000 for any positive COVID case on a ventilator. And Scott Jensen, a senator from Minnesota, showed this shit live on. He's got a 7-page document from the CDC that he showed live on air, like on the news. Shit. And people were like, "Oh, that's conspiracy." I'm like, "Yeah, dude. He didn't just show it right in front of your face. Like it didn't happen." The CDC never denied it. Like the CDC never said he made that up. They're like,
Yeah, dude. Jesus. It's funny because now, like, because I mean, they had like the whole first wave of vaccines for obviously like first responders and stuff like that, right? Everybody works in hospitals and shit, and then like kind of started opening up for other people, and like we're considered, I mean, the restaurant industry, because we touch so many people's food. Like, I mean, I'm cooking for 200 people a night. I come in contact with all different kinds of people just based on bringing food back and shit like that. We're like, they're trying to get us to get our shit together and like go get vaccinated and all that stuff because we're in contact with so many people, and a couple of our guys have started getting them done because there's like a 2-round thing, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, a couple of our guys have already gotten them done, and it's I haven't got anything done yet, but yeah, it is all of the, and most of the restaurants around here are starting to get them done too. So I don't know, dude.
Well, speaking of restaurants, motherfucker can cook too.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
do it up in the kitchen one time.
Somewhat. Probably, I'm not professional.
I see you always posting steak or.
I love steak.
Don't you have other
steak
meat that you haven't on it?
Yeah.
Elk and.
Yeah, I'll do. I haven't done elk in a long time, but I have before. I like steak. Like I eat steak probably 2 to 3 times a week, and some nights I'll get like a good like fillet, or I'll get like some New York strip, but. I like meat because it's nutritionally dense, and plus, like, it's super easy to cook, man. Yeah. Like, literally just sprinkle some salt, peppercorn. Yeah. Well, I'll put, like, the way I'll do it is I'll get, now, if I get, like, a good cut, if I get, like, a nice tomahawk, tomahawk steak, yeah. or like a cowboy cut. Yeah. I'll wrap that bitch in, like, a paper towel and put it in a Rubbermaid container, throw it in the fridge. Because that allegedly, and to what I see anyway, it somewhat simulates dry aging, but not as good as it normally would if you did it for real. So, like, I'll take that, get my cast iron, put some Kerrygold butter in that bitch, a couple sprigs of rosemary, some crushed cloves of garlic, throw it in there. Sear each side.
Seriously, watching your stories when you're doing it makes my mouth water. I'm like, damn, I'm eating fucking frozen, reheatable meals.
Dude. I'm pretty good at meat, and I'm pretty good with, like, pasta. Like, I can cook some pretty good pasta, like some chicken parmesan and shit. But the steak is where it's at, just because it's the easiest. If I'm gonna cook some pasta,
it's also a very easy wow factor. Like if you get you a good like tomahawk ribeye, and you cook that motherfucker in front of a couple people and slice it up real nice, people are like, oh. Like you know,
he made steak like 2 nights ago. Oh my god, shit was melt in your mouth.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You cook some, and it doesn't take a lot of people like to use all these crazy rubs, which I've had some rubs that you buy that are good, but dude, just some salt, pepper,
salt and pepper and garlic. Dude.
Salt, pepper, garlic. Some if you're really feeling fancy, toss like some rosemary or some thyme in there. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
that's all you need, dude.
And then just like some side, dude. The side, just some rice or some gnocchi or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Now if I'm like last night, I think I did. Yeah, it was last night. I made some cauliflower rice because I kind of like to watch my carbs at the end of the day. Yeah. But dude, if it's
I just ate cauliflower rice earlier. Yeah. That's what I was cooking up. Chicken.
Yeah. How do you cook yours?
I do cauliflower rice with olive oil, and then I saute some jalapenos down and some garlic. Throw the rice in, and then I hit it with cilantro and lime juice, and toss that. Make a jalapeno cilantro.
It was good, and I hate cilantro.
So you cook it in oil?
Yeah, I do a little bit of oil. I usually would do butter, but I'm starting this diet and like really trying to cut all this shit out, and so I'm just like trying to watch calories.
You're watching calories.
Yeah, I'm watching calories and trying to up my protein intake and working out more.
I watch the carbs a little bit more. Like I burn most of the calories with the carbs, like especially the starches and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like last night I sauteed mine in butter. I put in some chimichurri, some pesto, and I think I put in a little bit of lime. Yeah. And then I toss it up. Slice my steak up, put that in there with a sunny side up egg.
Oh yeah, dude. I shit you not. There's not many things that I will not throw a sunny side up egg on, and it'd be 10 times better.
Oh, dude, like, it's good with everything.
You could put it on anything, and I'll be like, "Yep, that looks amazing." Dude, today we just wrapped up one of the fish specials that we were working on. We did. We're doing that cauliflower rice. I did a pineapple salsa, grilled mahi, and then we did a curry coconut butter sauce. So I took like coconut milk, reduced it down, mounted it with like a pound and a half of butter, and then hit it with curry spice at the end. Dude. Talking fire.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you give me some
So
protein.
good.
You give me some protein and, like, some sort of side. Now, if I'm really fat boying it up and I'm really feeling myself, dude, and I actually, like, I didn't used to, like, usually whenever I ate this was with chicken, like, for a while, because, like, you know, one side of my family is, like, Italian or whatever. Yeah. But I watched, it was actually, I got it from Tex.
Okay.
The Tex shots and, like, I'd see him posting videos of him just cooking steak and making gnocchi. So now, dude, that's the play, dude.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if you just got done, you hit, like, you know, a 2 a day. You did your strength conditioning that day.
That shit's like stick to your ribs too, bro. That's just a real deal.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like,
yeah.
If you get like a good heavy day where you don't sweat like probably like 10 pounds of water, and you haven't, you know, you've been fasting most of the day, and you just need some dense ass meal, bro.
Fill your ass up.
Bro. Like a fucking like a tomahawk steak with some pesto gnocchi and like a nice tall beer or whatever. That's
fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro, that's what's up. I'm actually really damn stoked about this the shit I'm trying to get done, man. So that's exciting. I'm excited. Super excited, actually.
It's a fish, the mahi?
Yeah.
It's locally caught?
Yep.
Bro. Yeah. People don't understand how good the fish is down here.
Bro.
Dude,
like, cause you can get it.
Show him a fucking picture, bro.
Dude, I don't know if you saw me, but as we were recording, like the first 15, 20 minutes of this, CV, which is the boat that we fish on, the like fucking shit. CV Boats Official just liked my picture that I posted because I tagged them in it. Because there's only 2 CVs down here and one of them's Frank's. This is the fish I just caught last Sunday.
Shit.
Yeah, 50-pound cobia. Right off the beach, baby.
Well, that's another thing is like I got.
Yeah, that's like my whole Instagram.
I got like
holding fish
3 or 4 of my guys in the gym. Tom being one of them. Tom's like a boat captain too. Yeah. He does like fishing charters and shit. And then I got Ander. Those of you who watched my white belt super fight thing last night, he won that. Whenever the white belts talk too much shit, nice. I make them do super fights with me. Like we stream it and we roast them and shit. I got that from Sean, but we brought that back last night. Ander actually won. But yeah, Ander, my guy, his name's Josh Maurer, but he's he's Cajun, so I call him Dark Josh. They're all so Ander and Dark Josh are both deckhands, and then Tom's like a fishing charter captain. Okay. And every now and then, like every couple of weeks, like they'll just bring in like Tom will bring me like a couple pounds like tuna steak or whatever, like fresh ahi, you know, or like Dark Josh brought me some triggerfish throats the other day.
Oh, dude. Trigger throats, snapper throats, 2 of my favorite things of all time. And now, this is what's fucked up. Triggerfish, now you can only keep 1 per person. So it's like, now you have to keep you keep every part of the fish anyway, right? But now it's like, okay, we're only allowed 3 of them a day, like for 3 people. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get every single part of that thing, including the throats and the collars, and do everything I can with them. Yeah, just fried trigger throats, bro. Toss in some buffalo sauce. Yeah. You want to get wild? Let's get fucking wild. Dude.
That's the that's the thing is like
you sound like 2 cooks over here, but I was straight.
All my guys told me the same thing. They're like, because I told Tom, I was like, yeah, dude, Dark Josh got me some triggerfish throats, and he goes, oh, dude, the triggerfish throats are where it's at. He's like, we usually don't. Whenever we take people out to go fish, they don't tell them. They keep those for themselves. They just give them the fillets. Yeah. And then they're like, all right, and then they think they got all the good stuff, and the guy's like, when all the people have gone, they go back and take the throats.
Oh, dude, that's the best part, dude. It's like the thigh meat of the chicken of the fish, like that. It's
a lot of people compare like the texture of like triggerfish throats to like a lobster tail or something. Like it's out of control. Dude.
Fire. It's so good. Yeah, that's one of those deckhand thing. Not many people know about it. Everybody wants the pretty piece of meat off the side. Yeah. But you get that.
I want that fillet, but that throat, dude.
That neck, boy. Yeah. Bring that neck back here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, wild.
You fuck with pork?
Yeah, I do some pork stuff. Our second restaurant was a big, like we did a lot of barbecue and pork belly and pork butts and stuff like that, which was really cool. A lot of brisket stuff, which was cool. But I haven't. I mean, like I said, I've done some like pork belly burn ends and stuff like that as specials next door and shit like that. But it's not like my go-to is usually like steak and seafood is like my main thing.
I can cook any kind of meat, man, but like steak, seafood. Steak's probably my favorite, but dude, like even better than steak to me is like a really well done brisket or like some carnitas or whatever.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like some slow cooked brisket, dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a Traeger. I need to get one so I can do it. Because I've heard people that say that brisket out of a Traeger is like something else. Yeah. But
Dude,
my dad used to have an old smoker, like that propane tank.
Yeah,
and he had it cut in half. But he would do like Boston butts on it. That's about as much as I'm aware of.
Dude,
but that shit was so good.
We just had 1.5 pound Wagyu beef short ribs. But I mean, they were like dinosaur ribs, so they're about this fucking
huge.
big. I smoked them for 8 hours with the house rub, and then we did a strawberry barbecue sauce and can't remember what vinaigrette we put on like a cabbage slaw and sliced strawberries on it, bro. When I tell you 8-hour hickory smoked ribs like that, and it was
my stomach is like,
dude. I mean, insane, dude.
Dude,
fucking good.
That's
bro.
the play, dude. And that's the thing is like, if you're gonna do like some really good meat, like if you're just like, you know, searing a steak or cooking some chicken and rice, it's done like that.
Yeah.
But if you want like some good savory, like slow
Takes
cooked
a
meat,
ton, dude.
that's gonna be like a 6 to 8 hour ordeal.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Hell, you know, I know some people that have slow cooked like a big old like a whole piece brisket for like 14 hours.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like
We do ours almost 24 at the restaurant. We do full briskets like that because we'll do like 8 hours hard smoke and then wrap and do like a good 12, 16 hours of just real low, just like getting the fat to break down a little bit and the muscles.
Which restaurant
to
is
break
this?
Down. Global Grill and Urban Swinery. Yeah, down on Palafox
I
in
don't think
Pensacola.
I've been there yet. It's been a while since I've been on Palafox. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a big fan of Hopjacks.
Oh, word?
yeah, and they're not there anymore.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes me
What the
fucking
fuck
angry.
happened?
Yeah.
Fuck that
I was
place
just
and that
downtown.
guy.
I was just downtown like a week ago, and I was like,
Yeah, dude.
Whoa, what the fuck? It's
Well,
gone.
Bro,
So-
they had pizza with filet mignon on it. Come on. What the fuck?
Well,
What
they say
happened?
it was filet mignon, but the fucking
Wow.
dude.
Conspiracy theory.
No. Here's the thing though. The dude who owns all those spots, Hopjacks, Pot Roast and Pinot, 86 Forks, Tin Cow, all that, his name's Joe Absinthe. He's a piece of shit. He sucked, dude. When we opened
a
our
what?
restaurant, he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
When we opened our fucking second restaurant, he came in one night because he saw that we were busy and he was like all pissy about it. He came in and pulled the fire alarm whenever we had like
the owner did this?
the owner
of the other
of
place?
the other restaurants.
What a dick.
Pulled the fucking fire alarm and we had to
Wow.
fucking. Oh, dude, I shit you not. I mean, like, and I don't know if you guys saw what happened with Tin Cow like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
No.
Which one was this?
One downtown.
What happened?
So one of the employees that worked there, I guess, got pissed off. Because I guess Joe, I don't know what the fuck happened, but anyway, he had taken a bunch of pictures of the kitchen while he was there. And there were pictures of dead rats in the kitchen. There were pictures of, like, they get their ground beef, like 10-pound logs of ground beef in.
Yeah.
There were pictures of rats that had eaten through the ground beef and were eating the ground beef and that they were
Wow.
just using. Like, I mean, they shut down that restaurant for 3 months to renovate the entire thing because they would not allow them to open back up without renovating the whole kitchen.
Damn.
Like, I mean, and that's kind of what happened to Hopjacks too, is like they let it run down so bad, like the bar and everything. Like, because it just, like, they never cleaned anything. And it just, you know, so that's why they shut down that place too. So now he's got Tin Cow downtown and Pot Roast and Pinot. But
yeah, but Pot Roast and Pinot is shut down too.
yeah, they're only supposed to be doing like 3 days or something, 2 days.
Oh, I thought they were gone. Like, we walked by and it wasn't even there.
In the annex?
Yeah. You're talking about the alleyway thing that's
Yeah.
indoor kind of?
Oh, maybe they did. Maybe it is 86 Forks is doing the
Yeah,
3
it's
the
86
3
Forks
days.
now.
Yeah. See, and that's not even...
He's
that's
slowly
like,
going away, dude. All this stuff.
Bro, he deserves to go
That's
away.
what happens when you don't keep a hold of your shit, man.
Yeah,
Bro,
need to
it's
behave,
like-
bro.
Fuck it, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, dude, I'll definitely holler at you whenever we get some. Whenever we
I
start
need to
doing
come
some
by
other
for
shit.
that, dude.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
do some,
Yeah.
when we get
dude,
some more
honestly,
short ribs in
we
and
need
shit.
to have a night here that we
Get
have
everybody. Yeah.
You, Cam, all these people
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking about having this cookout thing
Yeah.
and have an actual cookout because he has a stone grill that's built into the back of his house.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
down with that for sure.
We'll
Get
just
on
have
the-
like a
get on
boys'
the
night.
grill. Yeah, that'd be
dude.
sick.
Or a guest night.
Oh,
Or
I'm
whatever.
big on.
fucking,
I'm a big foodie dog. That's like my other thing.
We'll
That's
do
pretty
food
much.
and whiskey, bro.
That's pretty
what
much
more
like-
you want, dude.
So that's pretty much like my thing, dude.
Meat and
Like,
sauce.
if you watch like my Instagram and shit, because a bunch of people like say, dude, all you put on your Instagram is like jujitsu, memes, whiskey, food, and your dog. And I'm like, that's pretty much.
That's
That's
it.
pretty
it.
much.
What
it.
more you
You
want,
nailed
dude?
me, bro.
What more you want?
Like, so like that's pretty much all I do is I just do jujitsu all day. Every now and then, like when I get a break during the day, I might go like to the beach or something. I don't have a lot of time for that during the school year because we have after school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever I get done, dude, it's just straight home. Not every night, but most nights I'll pour me like a little glass of something, and then I just saute steak for me and my dog. That's about it.
Oh yeah.
It's
Shit, that
pretty
sounds like a
easy
damn good life to me, man.
Hey, it ain't bad, dude.
Yeah.
Ain't bad. And it's getting, dude, the room's blown up. So, like, you know, I've never been in jiu-jitsu for the money. Like, if I was in jiu-jitsu for the money, I would have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that being said, man, when you do things right, money comes your way. So,
Yeah.
you know, with, you know, just the room growing, you know, keeping the vibes good. And not only that, a ton of it's been Chris and Christy Wheelers who have completely helped me change my life with, you know, through jiu-jitsu. So they've helped me see the business side of it in a more professional lens. Like, it's not just bumping heads, you know, it's not just training hard. You have to actually, you know, put on your suit and tie every now and then and actually be a diplomat and, you know,
for
do
sure.
some
That's
stuff,
important
so.
for any business, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Dude, the money has come through even more this year, dude. So I'm looking at buying, you know, knock on wood. I don't know if that's what or not, but
It's gotta
That
be.
counts.
yeah. Hopefully gonna buy my first house probably at the end of this year, the beginning of next year.
Uh-oh. Hell yeah, dude.
So
That's awesome, man.
that's it, man.
Good shit.
Doing jiu-jitsu, gonna have my own spot. Life's good.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
So
Hell yeah, man.
It's cool to see, like, I mean, I've known you throughout the, like, scene, but it's just cool to see, like, things coming around, you know?
yeah, dude. It's weird because you don't, especially when like you're not like in the same room every day and you see people like here or there and then you kind of see what they're, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, yeah, this or that. Yeah, so it's cool to kind of like do your own thing and then come back around and see that other people are doing good too.
Yeah.
You know, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's really
It
nice.
is cool to see a group that you've kind of been with to everybody kind of raise up, you know?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
feel really
important
sad,
part.
like, because unfortunately it's not always the case with everybody.
Yeah.
Every now and then you see, like, you know, you've over like 2 years, you kind of like elevate your life a little bit. And you do some really cool shit, and then you see this one guy who's kind of like stuck in a rut, and you're like, damn. You know, you want to help him, but you can't help everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta pray for him if you believe in that sort of thing.
Yeah. No,
sure,
I hear
dude.
you. Definitely.
Well, we're going to wrap this up because we're running a little long, but, dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Dude,
My
for
pleasure,
sure.
dude.
Definitely, like,
Oh,
a
yeah.
local legend, in my opinion, and definitely somebody I look up to.
I don't know about that,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
do appreciate the, you know, the kind words. So,
Yeah, hell yeah,
for sure,
dude.
man, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. It was good meeting you for sure and hearing some more stories, you know,
Yeah.
between the boys. But yeah, we'll definitely have to get up and fucking cook some food for everybody.
That
And
needs
hang
to be
out.
the next one, dude. Do like a taste test or whatever, and do
Oh,
it
yeah.
do it
Hell
live on
yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Needs
I'm
to be
here
one.
for it.
Well,
I'm
have
actually-
like an annual Some People Suck cookout.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
some people suck fest.
I'm actually working. I'm actually working on. We just did our one episode. We did, or it was really ended up being a rehearsal. It was gonna be for Fight TV. It might still be for Fight TV. I'm not really sure if they're really still trying to do it or not. But I'm coming out with my podcast. It's not gonna be Real Talk with Yelvo. If you listen to OG Real Talk with Yelvo, it was filthy. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Like if we did that these days, we get canceled. So it's a little bit more, slightly more diplomatic. Still kind of edgy and filthy, but not quite as bad.
Yeah.
Less shock value, but still legit comedy. And still us kind of giving our thoughts on shit like that. So, you know, you guys need to come on mine.
Dude, fucking so down, dude.
For sure.
Yeah,
Cannot
man,
wait.
so,
Yeah.
thank you guys for having me, man.
Do you
always,
before
bro.
before we cut, do you have anything you want to plug? Your Instagram, anywhere, you know, any kind of stuff you want to get? I mean,
You're like, actually, no.
you know what? No, if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But just the opportunity.
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't seen, I just dropped my signature rash guard. NoGiNation.com.
And it's fire.
Yeah. It was the Memento rash guard, Memento Vivere, Memento Mori, all that stuff. You know, it's got the Yatsugumi Kaku on the back. Along with my name. If you think my name is stupid, which fair, fuck you. But if you think it is stupid, you can get your name put, you know, on there instead of mine. So it's a dope rash guard. Plus, Nogi Nation has a bunch of cool shit out there. You know, go check them out. Will's Karate and Jiu-Jitsu, Leg Lock Assassins just made a gear drop.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's
And
sick. I
their
love the
gear's fire,
colorway.
too. Also, you know,
love it.
they're looking for new guys and, you know, and new representatives. So if you got a sick leg lock finish in competition, or you got a sick flow that you've been working on, record it. You know, if you got a finish in competition, post it. Tag them in whatever you're gonna post, and you know maybe they'll, you know, throw some love your way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Outside of that, I'm not sponsored by Old Forester, but I wish I was. This is
Dude,
Old Forester.
Hey,
What
hey,
is this
put it
again?
out into the
Dread River.
and get that
Speak it
energy
into
out there, bro.
existence.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
speaking, dude. We are speaking a whiskey sponsorship into existence right
Yeah,
now. I
for
shit
sure.
you not. I mean, I'm throwing all the bottles on here. I'm telling you.
Couldn't give you more of a hint.
I mean, can you tell what we're into? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit
Awesome.
and
Thanks so
fucking
much,
off.
guys.
So hell yeah, thank you guys for listening, watching, all the things.
we love
I'm gonna
you.
get the fuck out of here. Yeah, yeah.
Yee yee.